Let's get reaction tonight from Democratic National Committee Chairman Tom Perez. Mr. Chairman, thanks for being here.
Always a pleasure, Brett.
You heard Speaker Ryan there talking about this race and his take from it. Your reaction to that and what you take from this race, even though Republicans are contesting, you know, to say that they may still win.
Well, I think this race is over. Mr. Saccone can contest it, but I think it's going to be pretty clear that Conor Lamb is going to be the next member of Congress from that district. And, you know, when I hear Speaker Ryan talk about that, here's the reality. The number one issue was health care in the district. Democrats believe that health care is a right for all, not a privilege for a few. And we've seen the repeated efforts to make it harder for people struggling with opioid addiction to get access to health care. The health care voter came out in force, and they were supporting Conor Lamb. Similarly, there's a lot of folks there who are mine workers who are losing their pensions. They've been fighting for them, and the Republican Party hasn't been doing a darn thing for them. And so Democrats and Conor Lamb was fighting for the right to organize, fighting to make sure that people had a good wage and pension security. He was fighting, in short, for issues that are core to the Democratic Party, and that's why he won.
Are there enough Conor Lambs to win conservative districts like this in the midterms ahead, like you did in 2006?
Sure. Oh, I think so. And you look around right now, there are 118 districts that are actually more competitive than the district that was won yesterday. And as Senator Flake correctly said, it was a 20-point margin for Donald Trump. So if I'm a Republican, I'm very worried right now because Democrats, the Democrats are fired up. We're fielding good candidates. That's a big lesson from this. And we're organizing everywhere. And we're talking about the issues that people care the most about.
So if Democrats win the House, is Nancy Pelosi the Speaker?
That'll be up to the Democrats.
But don't these candidates like Conor Lamb, who ran away from Nancy Pelosi, have to say that they wouldn't vote for her?
Well, that's exactly what Conor Lamb said. That's correct. But, you know, here's the thing about the 18th district election. That when your only argument, and this is what it came down to for Conor Lamb's opponent, is he's going to support Nancy Pelosi, which he said he wasn't. That is a weak argument. What voters want to know in Pennsylvania is, are you going to help fight for health care? Are you going to help fight for my pension security? Are you going to help fight for good jobs? And they heard nothing from the Republican candidate. They had no message, and we were talking about those bread and butter issues.
This is, I mean, there's no doubt about it. This was a big moment for Democrats in this district. Why is the DNC having a tough time fundraising?
Oh, we raised more money last year, Brett, than 2015, 2013. And when I came in, we were basically shut down, as you know. I didn't get there till roughly the 1st of March.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at January, though, compared to the RNC, you've got total raise 6.1 to 12.4. What you've spent, what your debt is, 5.6 million to 0 for the RNC. Sure. And if you look at 2017, just comparing the two, there's a lot of difference between the DNC and the RNC. Why is that?
The question, because the RNC has richer donors. We raise money from the grassroots. In 2005, Brett, the RNC outraised the DNC 2-1. Same thing happened last year. In 2006. We won the House. In 2008, we won the White House. We've been winning elections over the course of 2017. This is not an aberration. This is a trend. And I think we're winning because, frankly, while the Republican National Committee outraises us, they're morally bankrupt. They're investing in the likes of Roy Moore in Alabama. They had to put millions of dollars into this race yesterday. Joe Arpaio in Arizona. When you field candidates who are so weak, and now they're going to spend a lot of money on the Trump Legal Defense Fund. Meanwhile, we're spending money on organizing, and I'd rather spend money on organizers.
How do you square the circle about Democrats like Conor Lamb who are different than where the party overall is headed? For example, is the umbrella bigger in the Democratic Party for pro-life Democrats? You once said that they weren't, but is it now?
That's not an accurate statement. And here's the thing. Here's what I learned in politics early on. You know, when I talk about unity, we should never confuse unity with unanimity. I'm not saying that everybody has to agree with me. I'm proud of the platform of the Democratic Party. But I respect the fact that people have honest differences of opinion on issues of importance. And I'm going to be working hard to get Bob Casey reelected, Conor Lamb elected and reelected in, I guess, the 17th district now when he
as
moves
it's redistricted,
over,
right?
As it's redistricted. And that's the beauty of the Democratic Party. Conor Lamb was able to speak to those issues that folks cared about.
So who is the leader of the Democratic Party?
Well, I think there are many leaders of the Democratic Party. I think those young people today who are marching all over this country are incredible leaders. I think women who've been leading the resistance have been remarkable leaders. And I think there are mayors, governors, folks here in Congress. That's why I'm so excited about where we're going, because folks are leading.
One of those women spoke out in India over the weekend, Hillary Clinton, saying that she won places that are optimistic, diverse, dynamic, moving forward. And Trump's whole campaign, Make America Great Again, was looking backwards. You know, you didn't like black people getting rights. You don't like women getting jobs. You don't like to see what Indian Americans succeeding more, that you are, whatever your problem is, I'm going to solve it. And she went on to say that essentially all of a sudden white women who were going to vote for me and frankly standing up to the men in their lives and the men in their workplaces were being told she's going to jail, you don't want to vote for her. So men were telling women how to vote. Do you agree with Hillary Clinton and how she phrased this election 2016?
Well, you know, Donald Trump is the President of the United States. Although Hillary Clinton won the majority, or she won more votes than Donald Trump. And you know what?
Not how they tally it for the presidency, but understood.
He won the Electoral College.
Right.
She won the popular vote. I accept that. He is the President of the United States. And what we've been doing is looking forward to make sure we learn from our mistakes of the past. And one of our mistakes is we need to organize everywhere. We need to clearly articulate what we stand for. That's exactly what happened in Pennsylvania with Conor Lamb. He was talking about those bread and butter issues that people care about.
But you don't think Conor Lamb would invite Hillary Clinton to campaign for him, do you?
Well, you know, we didn't even field a candidate in that district last time, and that was a shame on us moment. The last two cycles, Brett, we weren't fielding a candidate. And you know what? We lost District 18. The margin was something like 70,000 votes, which exceeded the entire margin in the state of Pennsylvania. That was a shame on us moment as Democrats. That's why we're flooding the zone now, fielding great candidates everywhere so that we can compete everywhere, because I think our message resonates everywhere.
We'll see if Hillary Clinton is a surrogate in the midterms. Mr. Chairman, we appreciate your time, and thanks for coming.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, Brett.